If you are a freelancer trying to figure out what service you should actually be offering, this video might save you years of guessing. Because what I'm about to share did not come from trends. It did not come from TikTok advice. And it definitely did not come from hustle culture. It came from data. I analyzed 1,462 Upwork contract jobs of my own in my freelance career, spanning over 15 years. Every project, every category, every dollar earned. And when I ranked everything by profit, not popularity, 3 services clearly stood above the rest. These were not services that just paid well once in a while. They weren't the lucky wins, and they were not seasonal spikes. These 3 services built my entire career. They created consistency, they created leverage, they created long-term trust. And today I'm going to walk you through them, starting from number 3 and working our way up to the foundation that made everything else possible. But before we dive in, there's something important I want you to hear. When people look at $1 million freelance career, they often assume it came from being exceptionally talented or early to a trend. But that was not the case. What mattered more than talent was alignment, aligning my services with what businesses were already paying for year after year. Keep that in mind as we go through this list. Number 3, e-learning development. This category surprised a lot of people when I first shared the numbers because e-learning doesn't look exciting from the outside. There's no dramatic reveal. There's no viral before and after moment, no flashy launch or announcement. And behind the scenes, e-learning quietly became one of the most stable, reliable revenue streams in my entire business. When I say e-learning, I am talking about course creation, LMS setup, instructional design, storyboards, training system for companies, universities, and healthcare organizations. These projects were not fast and were not trendy. They required thinking, planning, and structure. They were the high trust, high value. And when a company hires you to build training, they are not just buying a deliverable. They are trusting you with compliance, knowledge transfer, internal knowledge, employee performance, long-term systems. That level of responsibility completely changed how clients behave. These clients are not price shopping. They are risk reducing. They don't want to try something out. They want someone that's dependable, communicative, and organized. And once you're inside their system, something powerful happens. You don't just get one project. You often get revisions and updates, new modules, expansion, maintenance contract, additional departments bought in. One e-learning client can quietly turn into a multi-year relationship. E-learning did not create overnight wins for me, but it created predictability. And predictability is what allowed you to raise your rate with confidence. Stop accepting low-quality work. Step out of the panic mode. Build a business instead of chasing gigs. This kind of work does not burn you out. It stabilizes you. Number 2, animation services. This one shocked even me when I saw the totals, because animation wasn't something I originally thought of a big money service. I thought of it as a creative and optional, as something nice to offer, but not foundational. But the numbers had told me a different story. Animation sells clarity, explainer videos, short demo motion graphics, training visuals, process walkthroughs. Most of my animation projects were small individually. They didn't convert exceptionally well. Why? Because I didn't ask clients to imagine the results. I showed them. I used preview demos. Before a client ever hired me, I often shared a 10-second animation preview, sometimes even less, just enough to show the structure, the timing, the visual clarity, the message alignment. And once they saw it, everything changed. The conversation stopped being, "Can you do this?" and became, "When can you start?" Seeing is believing. Animation removes doubt. Clients do not have to trust blindly. They don't have to decode a long proposal. They don't have to guess your skill level. They just see competence. And that lowers friction dramatically. Animation became one of the most fastest closing services in my entire business. Fewer objections, less back and forth, shorter sales cycles. And because animation pairs naturally with websites, courses, training system, marketing campaign is stacked effortlessly with other services. Animation wasn't just profitable, it was strategic leverage. Number one, website development. This was the backbone. Website development generated the highest total revenue across my entire career, not because every project was massive, but because demand never stopped. Businesses always need new website, redesign, fixes, speed improvement, conversion optimization. Websites don't go out of style. They don't disappear when platforms change. And more importantly, websites unlock stacked income. A website almost always leads to animation, SEO, content, branding, maintenance, updates, ongoing support. One project turned into many. Website development wasn't just a service, it was a gateway skill. It positioned me as a long-term partner, not a disposable freelancer. Once a client trusted me with their website, they trusted me with their brand, their messaging, their systems, their growth, and that trust compound. Websites created a larger contract, longer timeline, higher lifetime client value. This is what allowed me to scale without constantly chasing new clients. The real lesson, my $1 million career wasn't built on talent alone. It was built on service selection. I didn't chase trends. I didn't rebuild my business every year, and I did not follow what sounded exciting. I followed where clients were already spending the money. That's the difference. And if you want to build a sustainable freelance business, this is the question you need to ask yourself. Where is the money already moving? Now, what is going viral? Now, what looks impressive? But what are the businesses consistently paying for year after year? When you align your skills with the existing demand, everything changes. Your proposal gets easier, your rate stabilizes, your stress drops, and your business becomes something that you can actually rely on. If you want more breakdown like this, subscribe, because this data gets even more revealing. And in the next video, I will show you how to choose the right service for your skill set. Position yourself for long-term clients and stop guessing and start building intentionally. This isn't hustle, it's alignment. And that's how real freelance careers are built. Look forward to seeing you to the next video. Until then, be freelance-tastic.